Hey everybody, happy holidays. This is Steve Gomez with Steve Gomez Business Coaching, and I am taking over the Hair Nerds Facebook page today, doing a little Facebook Live. I'm super excited to be with you. I hope the holiday season is rocking and rolling for everybody. Apologize, I had some technical difficulties with my connection, so it took me a hot minute to be able to get on today, but I'm here nonetheless. We're not going to let anything get in our way of having fun. We're not going to let anything get in our way of growing our business. So either way, I'm here. Sorry for the brief technical challenge that delayed me. Let's rock and roll. So first up, I just want to thank the Hair Nerds. I'm honored that they asked me to participate and jump in and spread my message. I appreciate who they are. I appreciate their community. I appreciate their commitment to build community. You guys rock. I've worked in conjunction with them on many projects throughout the years, and what I can say is, yes, they nerd out, but they nerd out with a very specific passion to make sure that we are all nerding out. And I think being a hair nerd for me really epitomizes a commitment to have a deep level of passion for our craft, a deep level of passion for who we are, and a deep level of passion for what we provide people. To me, that's what being a hair nerd is all about. Yes, it's fun to obsess over everything about our industry and about people that are setting and making trends so we can continue to elevate our brands, elevate our industry, learn from each other. But I really think that nerding out is all about caring at a deep level for who we are and what we do. And these hair nerds are all about that, as am I. So a little bit about me and why I'm here. Grew up in the industry, been around it my whole life, love it. I've been actively coaching salons and spas as a business coach and trainer for over 24 years. It'll be 25 this coming February that I have traveled our world, not knowing that this was what I was going to be doing, but that I've traveled our world helping our industry be better at how we run our salons and how we run our spas. That's my passion. My passion is to serve us who are the joyous servants of others. You know, we do a lot of things every day to make people feel great, but sometimes due to what we don't know or what we think we don't know, we can't learn or will never understand, we can get in our own way. And that's what happened to me. I launched my own company in my mid-20s, loved what I did, loved serving community, loved helping people. I was making money. Going to make more money tomorrow, full book of people, everything's great. But when it came to math, when it came to understanding finance, when it came to training other people and duplicating myself, so I didn't have to be the main breadwinner, I struggled there. And I literally ended up running my company into bankruptcy because of what I didn't know. And it was at that time that I had to turn the mirror this way and look at myself and say, okay, what's going on? What can I do differently? How can I grow? I don't want to give up on my dream. I don't want to give up on my passion for our industry. And I knew I had to do something different. And I found a coach, and I began to work on those areas that I wasn't proficient at or that I thought I'd never understand. You see, I never got past algebra in high school, and I just wasn't good at it. So I cut corners and would keep the cash sales and tips and all that stuff, and it was much to my detriment. I got audited. They went back 5 years on me. I owed them 80 grand I didn't have, because I was making money today, shopping today, making more money tomorrow, going out to dinner the next day. I was just living hand to mouth, really. And I had to learn a big, tough lesson. And it was only at that time when I was being humbled that I then chose to work on these things that I avoided. And in finding my coach and in hiring them to help me, this became personal to me. I was able to pay all the debt off. I was able to turn things around. I was able to sell my business for a profit. And I was offered the opportunity back in '02 to move out to California from Chicago and join this coaching company. And I dropped everything in 2 weeks and ran at it. A lot of you have probably done the same thing when you chose to go to cosmetology school. You made a commitment to do something different to yourself. And you may have had some naysayers and people doubting you. You may have chose to open your own salon or to open your own suite, and you may have had some naysayers and people doubting you. So I had that, but I knew I found something that I believed in, and it was so transformative for me that my life path was going to be supporting people in our industry to be better minded at running our companies. And that's what I've been doing ever since. I've coached over 250 salons and spas of all different shapes and sizes and compensation structures, whether you're commission or rental or hourly, you have more than one location. For example, I actively coach a salon in Encinitas that has over 35 hairdressers, and then I have another salon in Connecticut, and he's got 3. So to me, it doesn't matter what size you are. I work with lots of different companies. And what I do as a coach is I take a committed look at your business structure. And I look for what's working, but maybe you're working way too hard to make it work. And I look for what system that you may put in place that, if you were to adopt it, can help things go a bit more easily. I also look for what is not working the way you want it to, and I look for what system is missing that if we put it in can help, or what you need to learn to be more mindful so that you can put the right practices in place to be more successful. I was a guy, like I said, that never got past algebra and wasn't good at math and cut corners and didn't have a budget and all those things. And what fired me up about wanting to be a coach was when I learned all of that and I was able to overcome my fears and my own self-doubts around money management, I became very passionate about going on a journey to support people to do that. So I worked with this consulting company for about 7 years. They were acquired by Milady, and then I spent 9 years working with Milady as a subject matter expert, as a coach, as an author, supporting Milady to bring really good business content to the marketplace. And about maybe 17, 18 months ago, I left Milady and I went on my own journey, opening my own consulting company. After 24 years on the road overall, I wanted to take my message and what's in my heart and mind and bring it to our marketplace. So I spent all last summer writing a couple of books and preparing to launch my company, and I went out last fall, and I've been on the road hot and heavy ever since. What I want you to know most importantly is that if there's an area in your business that you need to work on, it's not as hard as you think. And I hope that my story that I've shared so far can help you get that. And that it also takes a community of people that are willing to help you turn the mirror and in a safe way look at how you can improve. I think that we always should be a student of life for life. And we have to operate from a commitment that we've never arrived. And this is what I love about the Hair Nerds. This is what I love about what they provide our community. They're constantly looking for the next iteration, for the next trend, for the next message that can support all of us to continue to elevate who we are and what we do. As you look at where you're going into this coming year, stay connected with these guys. And by the way, they have a really cool mystery box that they're going to offer you. You can go on hairnerds.com and check that out. And I'm contributing to that. So I've got a gift in there that you're going to be able to get access to that'll help you be a better minded business owner, whether you work behind the chair in a company, whether you are a booth renter, whether you own your own suite, whether you own the salon, you are an owner of your own destiny. What you do behind the chair, what you do in the treatment room, what you do is lead every single day. So everything that I put my hands and heart on is within that context. It's all about being a leader. Even if you work in a business and they pay you a commission or write you a check for the work you do behind the chair every day, the 10 customers a day, the 5 guests a day that you serve, look to your guidance, counsel, and leadership. You are a leader. You are somebody that makes a huge impact. You are somebody that has to get it right at a very high level of definition and meticulousness every single day. That's who you are. You only have one chance to make sure that that haircut, that color, that facial, whatever it is, looks and is delivered in an amazing way. You are a leader. I invite you to own that. As we move into 2018, what I invite you to consider is how can we as a community, through what we're going through and through what we are learning and can provide to our community, can keep elevating our game. That to me is the most important thing that we can focus on. There's a quote by Philip James Bailey, and he says, "The sweetest joy and the wildest woe is love." You know, when you passionately love something like we love what we do in our industry, it brings us a tremendous amount of joy, but it also brings us a lot of complexity. There's the complexity of learning how to run a business the best way that we can. There's the complexity of learning how to guide, train, and teach people. There's the complexity of dealing with 5 to 6 different personalities a day that are sitting in our chair and having to be empathetic and listen and guide them, all while having to be on point and on time because we know that next person's coming. You know, so there's a lot of complexity that goes into what we do. And inside of that love, sometimes there's a lot of challenge. Sometimes there's areas that we feel we're not good enough at, like me with my finances at first. Sometimes there's areas as communicators that we tend to struggle with. You know, so I say, if you love what you do, consider what makes you love what you do. Or if you were to answer that question, what do I love about my industry? I ask this whenever I'm out on the road teaching. What do you love? Typically, first answers I hear, I love being creative. I love expressing myself. I love being artistic. I love that I get to touch people. I love creating relationships. I love making people look good. I love that there's always something new that I can learn. Those are the things I hear, and those things are super valid, and it's why we get into the industry. But a lot of times I don't hear the audience or people in our industry share that they love taking on things that they don't know, that they love understanding the numbers or creating and following a budget, or how to recruit people or how to create plans and how to put systems in place. Those things stick a fork in us right-brainers. We don't love those things. So we tend to shy away from them, avoid them, or hey, I'll just hire the accountant and they'll do it for us type of mentality. So one of my messages to you today, everybody, take this as a mantra for as you're taking yourself into 2018. If you love this industry and if you love what you do, you have to love all of it. All of it. One of the greatest things my coach ever did, because he knows I'm a sports guy, I love sports. And I see Steve Kim is watching. I can't wait for his Miami Dolphin comment. Thanks, Steve. Love you, man. But anyways, one of the things that when I was working with my coach, he knew I love sports. And he asked me what sports I loved. And I told him all the sports I love: basketball, golf, football, soccer, all those things. And he says, great. Meet me next Wednesday at this park. This is when I was living in North County, San Diego. So I drove down to this park and I met him. And I thought we were going to kick a soccer ball around or do some type of sports that I loved. I don't know how to play tennis. Stick a fork in me on that one. Hate playing tennis. Didn't want to play tennis. He loves tennis. So guess what we did? We played tennis. And he literally made me hit. He gave me the racket, gave me the ball, and he made me hit that darn tennis ball against the wall for an hour and a half. And then we got on the court, and he proceeded to make sure that every shot went right at my head. And that was the next hour. And then he said, how was this for you? I says, well, this sucked. Hated it. Thanks a lot. He's like, well, obviously you don't see the lessons, Steve. And I said, yeah, I don't know why we're out here playing a sport that I don't love. He said, good, we're going to keep playing it every Wednesday. And this is how you're spending your coaching time and your coaching money until you can figure this out. So the next, I'm stubborn and bullheaded. So the next 3 straight Wednesdays, we were out there playing tennis. And finally, I realized that he was having me take on a sport that I didn't like, so that I could become more masterful at something that I didn't want to do. And it was one of the most valuable lessons I've ever had. And what I find as a coach is that quite often, when we run our companies, we turn a blind eye to those things that we're not disciplined enough at, or we think we're not going to understand, or we simply don't like. So if you don't like the numbers, if you don't like setting budgets or understanding the finances of a salon, if that's something you don't like, so you avoid it, I invite you to take it on, head on. To me, I always liken it to that lesson. I still don't like tennis, but I've gotten a lot better at it because of that coaching. And what I learned is true mastery of craft is the ability to take on all of the aspects of it and become masterful at it, even the areas that normally we would be predisposed to not want to take on. My coach said to me, Steve, true mastery in Eastern philosophy is to look for the breakdowns and take them on first to cause breakthroughs in your life. And that when you take on the breakdowns first to cause breakthroughs, that energy and those lessons are going to propel you and strengthen you to then take on the areas that you love, and you'll be even that much more better and more confident at them because you chose first to work on an area that maybe you're not comfortable at, you don't like, and don't want to take on. So as we move towards 2018, I invite you to take on areas in your world where you might have a breakdown to cause breakthrough. If you were to start there over the first 90 days of 2018 and begin the process of learning what you need to learn, adopting what you need to adopt, and putting those structures in place, imagine how you're going to feel, imagine how you're going to grow, imagine that energy then permeating around you in your culture. Everybody's going to feel a shift in you because you're choosing to shift you. And that's so important. Take on something where you have a breakdown, cause a breakthrough. And, stay humble about it. It's okay. It's okay to not know something. The most important thing we can do, especially in our industry where we're always evolving and there's always something to learn, is to be a seeker, seeking as much knowledge as we can find, looking to learn as much as we can learn about every angle and every nuance and every side of what we do. I also think it's important, and this is one of my favorite times of year, not only because it's the holiday season, but because this is a time of year that naturally brings about reflection. We're moving towards the end of this calendar year and going into the next, and it's the time of year where we're thinking about resolutions and how we want to grow and how we want to change. So I would invite you to answer some of these questions, and I'm going to recommend that you go and find my blogging about reflections on my website, and I'll give you the website at the end. But take some time to reflect and answer these type of questions as you move into 2018. How did you grow in 2017 personally? What were the things that you chose to take on personally that you accomplished? How did you grow professionally in 2017? What were the things that you took on professionally in 2017 that you accomplished? And as you start looking at those two things, what you accomplished personally and what you accomplished professionally and how you grew, then ask yourself as you look at both of them, how is that impacting you? What are you learning about yourself? What do you know about yourself now that you've been able to accomplish that? What impact is it going to make in your world long term? These things are super critical. In my experience, the more time you take to reflect on where you're at, what you're learning, and how you're growing, that energy and that message is going to propel you forward to give you more empowerment to look at the areas that you're not happy about, or to look at the areas that you feel you struggle with. Usually when I ask people, if you were to reflect, what do you want to look at? How did it go in 2017? People start with what didn't work. We don't really start with what worked. We start with what's not working. My invitation to you is start with what's working. How did you grow? Why is that benefiting you? Start with that empowerment, which will then give you the energy to start digging into those areas in your world that you want to work on. So as you're looking at 2018 and you're reflecting, answer these questions. How do I want to grow personally and professionally this year? What do I need to do or learn or take on to make that growth happen? How will I improve personally by taking those steps? How will it help what I'm doing professionally if I do that? What would be the value of me accomplishing these things? What I notice is that we don't take enough time to reflect and answer these type of questions. And we're working around the clock, working hard all the time. So it's important for us, in my opinion, to stop, pause, look back, look forward, really take stock of how we're growing, because our journey is going to continue to happen, whether or not we're really actively working on it or not. So we might as well stop, look back, look ahead, get clear about where we want to go, acknowledge our strengths, acknowledge our breakthroughs, and use that as a springboard to take on any areas that we want to focus on as we go into 2018. And I think the last message I want to give you guys today is one of inclusion. I wrote a book called Interdependent Leadership, Creating a Salon Culture of Inclusive Growth. And one of the things I've seen in my years coaching in our industry is that typically the owner of the business is the cook, baker, and candlestick maker having to do it all. And while it is important for you to lead your business and for you to set the pace, it's even more critical that you have everybody on your team following that lead and running beside you, not behind you. Typically, we're out there in front trying to get people to follow us instead of creating a culture where everybody is included. I think, espouse and coach, that everybody should be included in the learning process. Everybody should be included in the decision-making process. The more people are involved, the more creative they become. The more they know that their voice matters, the more passionate they are about the brand. The more people are challenged to think outside of their box and to think more deeply about the business other than what they normally do day in and day out, the more empowered they become. So for my owners out there, for my managers out there, the most important thing I think you can do in this coming year is get the team involved. Ask them tough questions. Make them put their thinking caps on. Don't accept "I don't know" as an answer. Make people dig. If you have a team of 10 people, you have 10 hearts and minds that have different life experiences, different perspectives, different ways of seeing things. And if you're the only one trying to figure out what to do in your company and you're not utilizing those 10 other hearts and minds, you're missing a huge opportunity that could accelerate breakthrough results for the whole organization. So get everybody involved. It's not about coming up with the right answers. It's about getting people thinking about what we could be doing differently to continue to elevate craft, elevate brand, deliver better service, and give our guests a experience that exceeds their expectations. The more inclusive you are, the more empowered everyone is, the less you have to be doing, and the more time you can free yourself up to then start looking out into the future and guiding everybody towards that. So get everybody involved. And if you don't own the business, I invite you to listen to what I just said and ask to be involved. Ask your owner, hey, what do you need? How can I help? What can I do to give you more time to look at things that can help us grow? so you're not just in busy mode? Can I make that Costco run for you? I'll gladly do it. Can I do an inventory count? I'll help you with that. Like, what are the things that your owners need that can free their time up? Ask, help them out, get involved, come in early, stay late. Let's make 2018 a year that's unrecognizable personally and professionally. You know, the more we're grounded in working with each other, the more we can help each other grow. Know your numbers, know the facts, work with each other, ask each other to help, and stay humble, everybody. We're on a journey together. We don't have to know it all today. As long as we're choosing to learn something new today, and we're patient with that process, and we accept where we are right now, and we accept where we're not, we accept what we know, and we accept what we don't, we'll have more patience, we'll have more perspective, and we'll give ourselves grace to continue to grow personally and professionally. So I just want to wrap up by reminding you to go to hairnerds.com, check out that mystery box. We've got some great stuff in there to support you, to strengthen who you are here, so that everything you do here is that much more empowered with every single guest, every single time. Check that out. You can follow me on Instagram at SalonCoachSJG. You can go to my Facebook page, which is Stephen Gomez Business Coaching. My website is www.stephengomez.net. Please go there, follow my blog. I'm out on the road a lot. I'll be at ISSE, so if you're coming to that at the end of January, early February, come to my classes. I'm teaching one a day, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'll be speaking at IBS New York. I also am honored that I got to kick the can around with my good buddy Andrew Carruthers and the folks over at Sam Villa. So if you follow Sam and you're hip to his YouTube channel, we've got some video. We have a video series that we're going to be launching. We did about 20 really good videos, really great messaging that Andrew and I are just kicking the can around, talking business, really talking perspective on a lot of great different subjects. So look for that. That's coming soon. In 2018, I think early 2018, we're going to be launching that, if not sooner. Most importantly, everybody, I really wish you a happy holidays, and I really wish you and yours the very best. You choose to do something every single day that makes such a great impact on people's lives. You know, yes, we have commodities that we sell. You know, we sell haircuts and colors and great retail products and massages and facials and all those different things that we provide people that they pay us for. But I say that the most important thing that we sell in our industry is self-esteem. We make people feel great on the inside based on what we do for them on the outside. And to me, it's priceless. It's magical. Can't put a price tag on that. So as you head into the holidays, just reflect and be thankful for those blessings every day that come and sit in your chair, and that you get to touch people and make them feel great. You're special. You rock. We believe in you. Let's keep strengthening our community. Let's keep strengthening our brands. And let's have a great holiday season and a great 2018. Thanks again to my hair nerd friends. And again, happy holidays, everybody. Take care.